Hi, welcome to valuationpodcast.com, a podcast and video series about all things related to business and valuation. My name is Melissa Gragg, and I'm a mediator and business valuation expert in St. Louis, Missouri. Today, we are discussing ESOP and employee-led buyouts, insights from a private equity perspective with Michael Koeppel. In his 30 years of experience, Mr. Koeppel has been exposed to a host of industries, but his primary focus is on technology, manufacturing, and service organizations. In 2001, he founded eCapital Financing, which specializes in assisting startups and challenged entities to obtain financing. Today, the firm works with a host of companies in both the Los Angeles and Western New York regions. While eCapital Financing currently focuses on investing in startup companies and projects, Lakelet Advisory Group LLC was funded and founded in 2012 to focus on challenged organizations in turnaround situations. Now, that's a ton of information, but welcome, Michael. We are so happy to have you here. But how do is there even a way to know if an ESOP is going to be better for me than an employee buying the business? And is there a difference? Maybe tell them a little bit that an employee-led buyout is different than an ESOP, but how? And really, most people, are doing either an employee-led buyout or selling out to a third party. So tell them maybe a little bit about how they would know.
If you're going to sell to the employees and you're determined, should it be an ESOP or shouldn't it be an ESOP? And we already talked about the cost of that, and let's assume that they understand that mechanism and the tax savings. There are several things that right off the bat one needs to consider. One, you need to at least 20 employees in place. The numbers really wouldn't make sense without that. Number two, appreciate when you do an ESOP that the trustee is really running the company. Mm-hmm. Consider the trustee the chairman of the board, and a very active chairman, I might add. The CEO, CFO who will be put in place, or our employees today have to work with the trustee and make sure that everything that the CEO, CFO are doing is to the benefit of the new owners, and the new owners being fellow employees. Mm-hmm. The other key is, and this is something that you can't you don't learn in business school, but have the individual who is selling have the right temperament. Mm-hmm. In other words, what I'm trying to say is make sure that he or she is willing to walk away. In an ESOP, they have at most 30 months to be a consultant and help out with the company and help it strategically and get it back on its feet or do whatever they have to do. But after that, he or she's got to be willing to walk away. And so many times you see with these small companies or family members, the original owner still, I want a corner office, or, what about my parking spots? Do I still get my Yankee tickets? Do I still get all this stuff? No, it's got to be a clean break and be willing to walk away. And the other thing is with regards to the employees. The employees have to understand in an ESOP what exactly they're getting. The tax benefits, everything's deferred, similar to a 401k. What happens if they leave before that versus what happens if they don't? And the other challenge with the ESOP that is getting somewhat mitigated, but it's still a significant challenge, financing ESOPs. If you had let's take a manufacturing company, if you have a proper collateral and everything like that, and the seller is willing to take a 25-30% paper on that, it'll help with the transaction. And you're in the financial services and have virtually no assets at all, and the owner still has to hold 25-30% without trying to get that collateral is very hard, considering you got a new management team in place. Because as we all know, in the entrepreneur, that individual who is leading that company for decades is now going into the sunset, and not only temporarily, but he has to go into the sunset. Because previously in the ESOPs, people may have been cute saying, he's selling a company to employees, wink, wink, but he's still in the office every day for 5 years getting more money than no, those days are long gone now. And the Department of Labor and the IRS really watch out for those unique circumstances. But those are the key things. The employees want to do it because it's quite a bit of responsibility. I always refer to it as, the first officer of a ship. Does he really want to be captain? Is he ready to be captain? And he or she has to move up. And sometimes it's very hard on selling to the ESOPs. The trustee will make sure that you got the right people in place. The trustee is like the chairman. He's independent. He has to get audited financial statements every year. He has to get an independent accredited business valuation every year. A whole host of safeguards are in place to protect the employees. When you just sell to employees, it can be helter-skelter. The guy, who is in charge of the shop floor is now, quote, CEO, and there's no safe rails in there. They may not have a CPA advisor. They no longer need a business valuation. They no longer need audited financial statements or any of the processes. So there's some significant inherent risk with that. And although people say financing an ESOP can be difficult, I think financing a company where employees are just buying it is even more difficult.